8:20, doesn't it?
It's 9:21. 9:21.
It's 9:20. The clock hasn't been reset. Okay. All right, it's 9:21 a.m. And the first thing is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The next item on the agenda is public comment, and I see a couple of members that may be public members here. If you want to address the board on something which is in our jurisdiction but not on today's agenda, now is the appropriate thing. If you're here for something that's on the agenda, we'll get to you when we get to that agenda item. Does anybody wish to speak? Nobody indicates they wish to speak, so we need to move on to the consent calendar. And on the consent calendar, we have a number of items, 4A through 4F. I'll ask the attorney, do you think I need to read those into the record or just?
It would be my recommendation that you at least incorporate by reference the
Okay.
calendar in general, so that there is a record. That would be my recommendation.
Okay, so the consent calendar that's been published has a list of the items on the consent calendar. And so I'll ask the other members of the board if there's anything it's been in our document package, items relative to the consent calendar, if there's anything they want to bring out and discuss separately.
No, I'm good with it.
Not really, no.
Okay. That being the case, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar.
I move that we approve the consent calendar as written.
I second it.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent calendar as written. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Okay, next, we have the swearing in of any parties who intend to give testimony today. Sarah, you want to take care of that? And if any of you people in the audience are going to be testifying, you need to stand up and get sworn in today.
Sir, the two hearing items that we have on the agenda have been withdrawn.
Okay, but I see some people, it's here, I don't know what they're here for, to be honest.
He's not here for testimony, he's here for further down on the agenda.
Oh,
Their item was denied, so they're here for those items, 7A and 7B.
well, I would think he probably needs to be sworn in. He's going to, it's on the agenda. You don't have any objection to being sworn in, do you? You can stand right there. You don't need to go to the podium. Yeah.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay. The next item on the agenda is hearings, and as Sarah has already noted, the two hearing items at the last moment, the applicant has withdrawn the appeal, and I would ask the assessor's office to just kind of update us on that, because that was not in our package. It's just, got this a few minutes ago, if you would.
Good morning, the board. My name is Tran Cooper, Deputy Assessor for the Business and Personal Property Division. The property under appeal today for item 5A and 5B was for the Pack and Save and the Vaughn
Yeah.
up in Oakhurst. After I have provided the information to the agent, he reviewed it and have decided due to schedule conflict that he is not here today to present his case. Rather, he withdrew the two, item 5A and 5B.
So you have the documents from them, the signed documents saying that they have withdrawn?
Yes, Sarah also has the withdrawal form.
We've got the signed documents?
Yes.
Okay,
The withdrawals were received yesterday.
okay, all right. Any questions from any of the other members?
No. I just move that we approve the withdrawal of item 5A and 5B, 4928, hearing of Safeway Inc., 18R006, and the hearing of the Vons Company, Inc., 18R007, as the applicant request.
I second it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve the withdrawals of the two hearings, withdrawal of the appeals that were scheduling the hearings. All those in favor of approval, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Okay. The next list of items is stipulation of assessed value. Is this, let me ask counsel, do we need to go through these one by one, or can we? Item 6, there's a change. Oh, excuse me. All I have is item 6, and I see we have a last-minute change on all the items in 6. So I guess we better discuss them as they go. Okay?
That'd be fine, yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
yeah. And 6A, is there any reason, by the way, let me ask the assessor's office, can we deal with all these as just one lump item?
Yeah, there's really two different applicants. Items 6A, B, and C are in relation to Mammoth
Oh,
Mountain.
I see, excuse me, yeah,
And
okay.
item D through G are related to 7-Eleven.
Okay, so what, I guess my question, let me rephrase it. Can I do the ABC and we do a brief discussion of that and change the values because of apparent typo in the agenda? And then we do the DEFG.
Yeah, I think that would
Okay.
be acceptable.
Okay, that'll work?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, so first of all, on stipulation of assessed value, let's consider 6A, 6B, and 6C, which all relate to the Mammoth Mountain Ski Area, 14R083, 15R045, and 16R035. And if you would address that, and now, do you have a copy of this change?
Yes, I do.
Okay, if you could address that where it's appropriate on the change.
Okay. Brian Glover, from Deputy Assessor for Real Property from the Madera County Assessor's Office. These three stipulations represent appeals for the 2014, 15, and 16 fiscal years. We have such a small portion of the overall operation that we have traditionally deferred to Mono County on these, and they recently wrapped up their appeals. So our values really stem from, we have what amounts to 4% of the ski lift capacity of the facility. So the values before you represent 4% of the possessory interest value as determined in the Mono County hearing.
Okay.
And that's,
Well, I guess here's my question. I'm looking here
Okay, so
on
as
the
far as
agenda,
the
6A
differences-
says that we got a total assessed value, $2,172,881.
yeah, the
The new
amounts.
thing I got today says, oops, that was a typo. It should be $1,031,181.
Yeah, that's correct. The amounts listed for all of item 6 on the agenda as originally posted are the differences in assessed value. We're one column off. If you look at the stipulations, which I believe are in your packets, the column that was initially used to create the agenda is the far right column.
Uh-huh.
The corrected value, which is the value that we've agreed on, is the second column from the right.
Okay.
And so that's
So-
on the sheet that was published today. Those values are the values that we have agreed to stipulate to.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to read them into the record then and make sure that
So-
you agree with it. So on the 6A 1304 evaluation, the total assessed value that's been agreed to is $1,031,181. And the 6B 2383 is saying $1,153,766, and the 6C 5098 is $1,196,124. Is that correct?
Yes, those numbers are correct.
Okay.
Well, I move that we accept that.
I second it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to accept those values as read into the record. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Okay, then we have 4 items on 711, and it looks like the same general typo. On the 6D, it says that the 6D 4951 says, the revised thing we got today says the agreed upon value for the stipulation is $4,477,233. Is that correct?
Yes, that is the correct number.
Okay. For 6E 4952, it says $2,412,940. Is that correct?
That is correct. And also, there's an adjacent lot associated with that one that has, is listed as 6F, that's $120,040.
Okay. 6F has changed to $120,040, and there's a 6G, which says $2,110,710.
That number is also correct.
Okay, so that's the agreed upon value. Okay?
I move that we accept those stipulated corrections as written.
I second it.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to accept the stipulation values. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. Okay. We're on to non-hearing matters, and we've got, I assume they're both, are these both the same? Are you doing both of them? Okay, so we'll talk about both of them at the same time then. Is that okay with the assessor's office?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we'll do 7A and 7B simultaneously, 2014 ESA project and the, looks like 2009 Bloom Energy project. So would you introduce yourself and,
Nathan Gangloff, with Property Tax Assistance, agent for the applicant. So the issue here was that we requested a first-time postponement a few months ago, and upon receiving a form from the county, this agenda item submittal, our administrative department thought
why don't you
that-
start over?
Okay, Nathan Gangloff with Property Tax Assistance, agent for the applicant. So the issue today that we're asking for the reinstatement is that a few months ago, we had the hearing, and then we requested a first-time postponement. And upon requesting the postponement, we got back an agenda item submittal. Our administrative department simply mistook this as a notice as opposed to an actual hearing card. A lot of counties will often send a card that has an actual date and everything on it. Basically, that's the entire issue. Upon getting our applicant did not appear denied without prejudice notice, that there's actually a board action part filled in right here that was not filled in on the first one. I think that there were several factors that caused them to mistake this form for not the actual hearing form. They just thought it was the submittal for an agenda item. These appeals are pretty good. We will certainly be trying to work with the assessor on them. I think that if they get reinstated, I think that there's a good chance that we'll be able to just work them out before coming back to hearing. We actually pursued this for the 2016 appeals, and we have the 2018 appeals open. We were able to resolve them previously, and there's no reason for us to not show up for them. It was just simply a mistake, an administrative mistake.
I'll ask the assessor's office what their position is. Are you comfortable with doing what he's suggesting, or are you opposed to it? You know, let us know what your feelings are.
Well, if I may present the assessor's positions on this issue, we are opposing to the request for reinstatement for the following reason. My name is Tran Cooper, Deputy Assessor for the Business and Personal Property Division. To give a timeline of the subject appeals, the first hearing was scheduled for January the 3rd of 2019. The applicant's agent specifically requested and was granted a postponement until May 2nd, 2019. The agent was not present for the May 2nd, 2019 hearing. The application was denied for lack of appearance. The applicant's agent requested for the reinstatement with a letter dated June 4, 2019, which was more than 15 calendar days from the date of the notification of denial due to lack of appearance. On or about December 10, 2018, the assessor's office sent a 1606 exchange of information to the agent. No response to this request. On February 12, 2019, I emailed the agent to request for information. No response to this request. Agent did not show for the pre-hearing conference before the May 2nd, 2019 hearing. Messages was left on various dates between February and April. No calls received. In accordance with the Madera County local rules and of the Assessment Appeals Board, Section 12, titled Lack of Appearance by Applicant or Agent, period for reconsideration states in part, and I quote, if the applicant or her agent does not participate in any exchange of information pursuant to Revenue and Taxation Code Section 1606, when such exchange is initiated by the assessor and does not appear at the pre-hearing conference and does not appear at the hearing or submit timely requests for postponement or continuance, the applicant shall be denied with prejudice and no reconsideration shall be allowed, unquote. In addition, subsection B states, quote, the applicant or agent shall have 15 calendar days from the day of mailing of notification of denial due to lack of appearance to file a written request for reconsideration that shall provide evidence of good cause for the failure to appear. In summary, the agent is a professional who did not respond to any exchange or request for information, meeting, or appear at the scheduled hearing specifically asked for by the agent. I believe the reasons stated in the reinstatement reconsideration letter does not meet, quote, evidence for good cause, unquote, and the 15 calendar days for failure to appear for the May 2nd, 2019 hearing. In closing, the assessor's office respectfully requests the board to deny the reinstatement of the subject appeals 17R017 and 17R018. I thank the board for your time and consideration.
Mr. Chair, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ms. Cooper, could you refresh our memory as to the property and its value? Which property are we talking about? What's the value?
The company leases fuel cells to,
What's the name of the company?
The name of the company is, where's my agenda? The first one is called 2014 ESA Project Company LLC. The second company is named Bloom Energy 2009 PPA Project Company LLC. What they provide is fuel cell which generate electricity. It's almost like solar panel, but they have a chemical reaction. That's the best of my understanding.
Okay, I got it.
I'm not very technical on
No, I
this.
got it, but what was the assessed value that we came to?
I believe, do you have the application, Ms. Anderson? Just give me a moment, please.
And if you could also add what they would like to see the value as.
Second-
Yeah, you
second.
could tell us what both are.
Thank you.
Could I comment on what she said?
You'll have a chance to comment when she's done.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we let you comment on her, and yeah, then she comment on you. So we're,
Thank you. Okay. For 2017 R017, the assessor value for 2017 was $1,536,580. The applicant requested $678,290, and that's approximately 50% of the assessed value.
Can we get that number again?
Oh, certainly. Let me go back. $1,536,580 is the assessed value.
Thank you.
And would you also like the applicant's?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the applicant's opinion of value is $768,290.
And there's only 1 year in question or more than 1 year?
This is only for 2017. Each year they do appeal, but this specific subject of the hearing is for
This
2017.
hearing is only for 2017?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And for 2017 R018, the assessed value was $2,080,010. And the applicant's opinion of value is $2,001, which is approximately 10%
Okay,
of the assessed value.
right, I understand, thank you. Question to the applicant. We all understand now what happened here. Your hearing was scheduled in January, and we are all here, except you. Any reason that you couldn't show up, and then subsequently, you were asked to see the assessor's office to sit in the meeting, and so you didn't show up. And now, could you explain why all that happened?
I think in January, I think that we requested postponement, did we not? Like a timely postponement request? Yeah, okay, so January was given right. We did not appear at the last hearing because we did not realize that the date was reset. So when we were given the request for information, we did not provide the information because we did not know that we had to give it yet. Basically, I think like one of the biggest problems here with saying that we didn't provide information is that we didn't know that it was time to give the information. Our received date for the agenda item submittal for when we did not appear was actually stamped June 3rd, and then our request to reinstate was submitted June 4th. We stamped both in and out, and so we responded just extremely quickly as soon as our administrative department realized that they made the mistake and did not actually record the new date. So it's not like, I see it says May 2nd on the agenda item submittal, but we did not receive it until June 3rd.
You didn't receive the notice to appear in January?
So the May 2nd item that you got would have been the board's telling you what happened. That's the motion, it's the minute order.
Okay. Okay, I'm getting a little bit confused on dates, I'm sorry. So our original hearing date was January 3rd. Is that the one that we missed? That's not the one that we missed, right? We requested a first postponement during that one?
So the 45-day notice was mailed to the applicant on November 13th for the January 3rd meeting. On November 28th, the agent requested via email to postpone the January 3rd hearings, and then a follow-up request again on December 4th specifying the postponement date to May 2nd, 2019. After the conclusion of the January 3rd meeting where the board authorized the continuance, their one-time right to postponement to May, a minute order dated January 3rd was mailed to the agent and applicant, which is their notice, because on the minute order in January, it states that their item was approved for the one-time postponement, and it specifies the May 2nd date.
Oh, okay, yes. Okay, okay, I have the minute
So-
order from January 3rd.
That is the notice to
Yeah.
the applicant that the
Yeah.
hearing was
Was
approved
approved.
per their request
Yeah.
to May 2nd. At that time, that's when the assessor's office then started contacting the applicant and agent for the information. Fast forward, May 2nd happens, no one shows, our assessor's office had received no communication, and I hadn't received any further communication until after I sent the minute order from May 2nd denying their appeal for lack of appearance.
Okay.
So
So-
let me just
Yeah.
make sure I understand what you're saying. It was set on May the 2nd for the hearing at their request.
The May 2nd hearing was set on January 3rd at their request, yes,
Yeah,
sir.
okay, so,
And then they
that's the one that
understood
they missed, and therefore, yeah. So-
And they understood the May 2nd one that said it was denied, but
Yeah.
didn't understand the January.
So that's where the issue stems. So on the January 3rd notice, this form that we received, we did not understand this to be an actual reset. Our administrative department saw this and thought it was just an agenda item submittal, like a piece of mail indicating that it had been heard before the board. We were
But
expecting-
you were asked to come on May 2nd. At your request, it was postponed, but you didn't show up
I'm not
at
sure
the hearing
that,
that,
I'm not sure that we requested May 2nd specifically.
Yes,
can't-
I have an email
Okay.
dated December 4th from your office that specifically requested
Stated
May
May
2nd.
Okay.
And furthermore, if I understand from the assessor's office, as you approached the May 2nd hearing, you went into the exchange of information and contacted them, and you got nothing back on that either.
That's correct, sir.
Okay. Okay, did you have any comments you wanted to make on their presentation? Because I'm going to let them comment on your presentation, give you both the same chance.
What was the reason why there was no contact?
We're very busy. We actually have
So are
we've already actually given them, for the 16-year appeals, we gave them all of the relevant information that also carries forward to 17 and 18. Before coming to this reinstatement hearing, I was actually under the impression that this was the normal hearing. And I was able to actually supply Trang with the information again. But she already had all the information from 16. They do stand separate, so, 16, 17, 18, I should technically be providing the information every year. But leading up to this hearing, I did provide information for 17 and 18 because I actually thought before I was informed that this was a reinstatement hearing.
I
that it was
also,
the normal hearing.
yeah, I also sent in the email to the gal
Could you tell me?
that sent me that wanted the hearing confirmation. I emailed her the hearing confirmation notice, but in that email, I specified that this was not a hearing. It was simply a opportunity for you to appeal to the board for reinstatement of your appeal, in which case it would be set for a hearing at a date down the road.
Yes, I understand that, leading up to this, though, I had thought it was going to be a hearing, so I sent the information. I'm just indicating that I did, in fact, I was prepared to send the information. I understand that this is simply a reinstatement hearing.
Could I make a comment on that? I first was contacted for this appeal was last Friday, January the 23rd. I received the information, I believe either Monday or Tuesday of this week. I spoke with Nathan, and actually I said that I did not understand this is to provide the information for the 2017 because we are still waiting for the board to decide if it's to be reinstated. I only will look at it if the board reinstates the appeals. But I was not contacted until last Friday.
So from January to last Friday, you didn't have any contact with the applicant?
That's correct, sir.
Okay, so I believe that you have been very, very non-responsive at all. I mean, you didn't respond at all, you didn't show up at the hearing, and you wasted the time of the board and the staff. So I think I'm inclined to decline the request.
I believe so too. I second that.
This would be,
Are you done commenting on their presentation?
Yeah, it was just a simple mistake. You know, most of the time you don't really talk before you actually think that there's something coming up. You know, the assessor often closes the roll all through June, so most of that time we're busy making workups and stuff, and there isn't much communication. So it just really came down to a simple misunderstanding for when the actual hearing date was. We thought that we'd receive a notice. The clerk has indicated that we specifically requested May 2nd. I do not know why our administrative department did not actually just go ahead and take this agenda item submittal and actually record it on our hearing calendar. It would have been a much more pressing issue had we known that it was actually set for hearing. January, we didn't show up because we requested a timely postponement. So us not showing up and wasting the board's time in January was that we didn't waste the time in January. But I'm very sorry that we missed May 2nd and we wasted your time on that date.
Anything else, or is that,
No, that's it.
okay, anything?
I have nothing further. Thank you.
Okay, I make a
Oh,
motion.
hang on.
No?
Okay, I was going to ask our legal counsel if there's any legal ramifications here we need to consider.
What I would like to do, out of an abundance of caution, in reading the rules, is I would like to see the email exchange myself, to take a look at it. In reading the rule, there is a good cause provision. However, it is conditioned on a fairly rigid 15-day period with which you have the requirement to request a continuance. And so, out of an abundance of caution, what I would like to do is see the email exchange so I have it, so I understand legally what the time parameters were that we're dealing with. But I would agree there's a significant amount of time that has lapsed.
Hang on just one second, Sarah. I was going to suggest, is this something we could take a recess and you and Sarah could go over this and then we could come back in what, say 30 minutes or something?
Yeah, that would be
Okay.
fine. That works for you.
10 minutes?
10 minutes.
Well, I'm trying to make sure he's got enough
That's all
time.
the time they need.
Sure. We'll do it in 10 minutes. Yeah.
10, 15 minutes?
Sure.
Okay, all right, well, we'll take a brief 10-minute break. Looks like we'll come back at 10:05. Okay? All right, we're back on the record after recess. Our attorney has reviewed various documents, and I'm going to ask him to tell us about it. So,
Yes, thank you. I had a couple of questions, if I can ask the applicant.
go ahead.
Couple things to clarify. Sir, when did you receive, or your company receive the May 2, 2019 notification?
June 3rd.
Okay. And was that by U.S. mail?
I'm not sure what the method of receipt was.
But you're acknowledging here that you did receive this on June 3, correct?
Yes.
All right. And then when you received this, the letter that was written on June 4, 2019,
Mm-hmm.
you have that in front of you, sir?
I do.
Okay, that's addressed to the clerk of the board.
Mm-hmm.
Did you submit anything to the board or anybody in the county in addition to this June 4, 2019 letter that relates to these hearings?
Are you talking about any information regarding the appeals or anything other than this letter?
Any other written submissions, meaning stipulations, emails, anything at all, other than this June 4, 2019 letter?
If there was more information, I was not provided it.
Okay, so as far as you understand, as you stand here today for the board, that the June 4, 2019 letter is the only thing that was submitted in writing following your receipt of the notice that you state was on June 3rd. Is that fair?
Mm-hmm.
That's a yes?
Yes.
Okay. My recommendation at this point, there is a little bit of a paper trail here that I'd like to digest and compare to the rules. I would recommend that we table this and revisit this at the next hearing.
Is that okay?
One question, sir. The letter for the May 2nd hearing, when did we send them a notice to appear on May 2nd?
So as I explained to the assessor's office, I don't send an official notice. What I send is the minute order, which he showed you, following the assessment appeals meeting. It's usually out no later than the Friday following the assessment appeals meeting, the next week. So today's meeting, all minute orders will be out no later than next Friday.
Okay.
So when technically I actually have till the Friday following to send them out.
So technically,
My 15 days. I
right.
don't log that on my spreadsheet because some of our things can be continued like forever, for example. And I just don't have the capability to track all of those, so I don't log that date. I just make it a habit to mail those. However, as I process each one, I print it out and I mail it U.S. Postal Service to all the applicants as well as the agent.
Okay.
So two copies are mailed. If an applicant has an agent representing them, a copy is mailed to each party.
So what the applicant is saying is that he requested that a hearing be postponed to May 2nd. We agreed to that. We sent them a notice, and they're saying they didn't receive it until June
So
3rd.
I would have sent them the January 3rd minute order
Right.
within the 15 days, so that would have been in January, letting them know of the May hearing. The May notice was the denial one that they are saying they received on
Yeah, we received the notice from the May 3rd denial notice on June 3rd, yeah. Yes.
Stating that they didn't understand the January.
The notice we received in January, we did not realize that it was actually a notice that the hearing had been moved. We thought it was just a submitted agenda order. Which, it really just comes down to, there was a misunderstanding in the paperwork that was being sent out. We thought that we would receive an official notice, but the way that this county handles it is different. That really just came down to a simple misunderstanding.
Is the letter complicated, hard to interpret, that it's asking you to appear, or you didn't think it was asking you to come on the meeting?
No, we did not think that. We thought that the notice was just saying that it had been heard at the hearing.
It was.
Yeah, but we didn't think that it was the official decision.
How can we make it official? I mean, what kind of letter you expect that tells you to?
Oh, okay.
to
For
make
example,
appearance?
most of the time, when we do get something like that, we'll get, sometimes the county will send an agenda item like that, and then they will also send an actual hearing notice. And at the top of the page, it'll say hearing notice, it'll have the date on it, and that's how we understand it most of the time. Sometimes counties work differently. That's, to be expected. There are a lot of counties, everybody's kind of up to their own.
So the DOE rules state that I only have to send one official notice, which is the 45-day notice, of which that date I do log. And that bright, colorful
Yeah.
little one that I send out.
Right.
I think we're recovering stuff that's already been testified to here, so.
Yeah.
That's the minute order, that's
Okay.
your notice,
What-
that's
I,
So everybody gets the same?
everybody gets the same.
Yeah, so.
we have a suggestion from our counsel that we table this so he can look at a few more things. Now, my question would be, that would mean next month we would actually make the decision. Is there any reason why he would need to come back, the applicant?
The agent.
The only reason would be if we're going to discuss the issue further for public hearing, I think he has a right to come.
He has a right to come, but is he required to come?
No.
No, okay.
I think we have the 18-year appeals scheduled for this as well in October, if we could.
I was going to get to that, right. There is some other appeals still pending, which are scheduled in October. And I was going to ask you is if this did get rescheduled, do you have any objection to doing whatever stipulation to waive time or whatever?
Of course.
And just do all of them together in October?
That sounds very reasonable.
Are you aware of that there's a tentative hearing schedule for October for the rest of the stuff?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, and and what I'm saying is that's, if we were to decide that they could do a hearing, we would schedule it for the October one.
Yeah,
And
that would
what
be
if-
fine with our office.
Yeah, it'd be fine if it went that way. So, and you're saying you're amenable to that also. But it sounds to me like where we're at is we will rediscuss this next month. You can be here if you want, but you're not required to be here.
Okay, very good.
I think the record should reflect that
Okay.
you have the right to be here, and certainly would encourage you to be here if you so desire, and you have that full opportunity.
So I have a concern. My only concern is that if we're gonna reinstate their appeal, I would have to then officially give them a 45-day notice, and this does not, if in September, the board should decide to reinstate their appeal, I cannot schedule them unless they agree to waive the 45-day notice for October.
Would you agree to waive that?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
And is that in addition to waive the 2-year time limit?
It is part of what the board
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Sounds good. So we're going to move it to discuss on the
I need a
September.
motion to table it till the next meeting.
Yeah. September, okay, I move that we table this for September 5th discussion for this reinstatement consideration for the ESA project company LLC 17R017 and the Bloom Energy 2009 PPA project company LLC 17R018.
I second it.
It's been moved and seconded that we continue this until the September 5th hearing. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes.
Great, thank you.
There's a way you could see it, you could streamline it too, if you could want to do it online to see our September meeting.
Okay. Okay, I'll take a look on that.
Yeah. Right? Sarah? Yeah. All right.
All right, next item on the agenda is staff reports. Is there anything that the staff wanted to bring up?
So I think we still have one item,
Oh,
the
yeah,
adoption of
7C.
local rules.
Well, what I was going to suggest on that is because we've been working with Michael, and he's not here this month, is that because he's the attorney and we need to get his input. He's the one, I doubt that you've familiarized yourself at all with this new version of the local rules.
I have received copies, but
Yeah.
I've not had the opportunity to thoroughly go through those.
Yeah, we need to get Michael here because he's our attorney and so we need to table it until the September 5th. So could I get a motion to table that?
Yes. I move that we table the item 7C 4896 for the revision of the local rules of the assessment appeal boards to the September meeting.
I second it.
It's been moved and seconded to table that to the September meeting. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Okay. Anything else from you guys?
No, sir.
Okay. I don't know of anything else, so entertain a motion to adjourn.
I motion that we adjourn this meeting.
I second it.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned.
Thank you for your time today.
Well, thank you all. Good seeing you again. I would, it's transparent, but there are rules, and somebody shows up next time, it's a lawyer, and
Yes.
you get
And that's my concern. I go either way on it because it's unfair to the county. They did everything they needed to do. But all we have to do is schedule a hearing. We already have scheduled for them, so it doesn't do very much.
Right.
Yeah, it's a minor.
It is. I just want to make sure.
And you, as you point out, if we go end up the other road and we reject it and they get some lawyers in here, it's going to cost the county a
It's gonna
small
cost you a ton
fortune.
of money. It's not worth it.
So
But they have